Hey everybody, welcome to Facebook on the 1st of April, April Fools, but this is no joke today. All right, this is some serious stuff I want to be able to cover with you, and let's get going, all right? Hopefully, whoa, we got a disaster going on here. Hold on. I should have had this better prepared. I didn't. My apologies. It's always interesting to see what's going to happen on these. You never know. All right, we'll try that. We got the lighting issues again going good. Wonderful. Super. All right, let's get that fixed. Let's see if this will help. I don't know if it will or not. Maybe not. Okay, enough of that. Let's get down to business here. This is serious stuff we're talking about today. And as you come on, I'd be curious to hear, do you take yourself serious, right? I mean, we think we do, but do we? Right? I mean, there's a lot of change. Hey, Don, good to see you on here from Ohio. Always nice to have Don on here. She's so consistent. I really appreciate that. Along with everybody else that either watches it live or watches the replay, is very thankful. Anyhow, today we're talking about the silent killer. And many of you might not even know what that is, but it is chronic inflammation. Inflammation is very difficult for the body to manage, and most of us are walking around with it. Well, what got me started on it is I was doing my daily reading in this book this morning, and it had this quote in here from David Perlmutter. I haven't had a chance to research who he is, but this aligns with something I had read a long time a couple of years ago called In the Healing Self by Deepak Chopra, who's an endocrinologist, and Rudolph Tanzi, who is a PhD in neuroscience. Anyhow, so I'm reading this quote this morning, and this is why this is so important. Good to hear, Don, that health is number one. All right, you're right, and it's not too many people. So feel free to add some conversation in the comments there, and then that way this just becomes more informative for everybody. And also, you know, it improves the overall conversation, right? Let's elevate the conversation. So the very first question I had for you is, do you take your health seriously? And I was reading this morning. It reminded me of the other book, but this is what I read. Inflammation is the cornerstone of Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis. In fact, all of the neurodegenerative diseases are really predicated on inflammation. And again, that's from David Perlmutter. All right, so that got me thinking, and I'm like, you know what? Why not do a live about our health and about this chronic inflammation? So what is chronic inflammation? According to the government site, it says that the body's immune system responds to an irritant. All right, and it's talking like bacteria, and that's what leads to bronchitis is one of them that they kind of mentioned in there, and some other things going on. However, on WebMD, they're saying that sometimes the immune system responds and there's no foreign irritant there, but it thinks there is. And it triggers without any invaders. And that leads to all kinds of autoimmune issues, right? So inflammation is just a very big problem, all right? It's been called the mortal enemy. That's a pretty powerful compound, right? Mortal enemy of your health. And here's the challenge with it. Most of us are walking around not even realizing that we have chronic inflammation, and we're killing ourselves as a result. But think about that quote. This is what science is now proving is causing Alzheimer's, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, and other types of ailments is chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is huge. So how serious is chronic inflammation to you now? Are you going to take a little bit more serious a look at it? Are you going to want to figure out how you can help your body fight chronic inflammation? Now, in this book, one of the things they're going to talk about is the importance of a well-balanced diet, staying away from processed foods, right? And those kinds of things. But they also are going to bring up some other things. So what are some of the advantages, or let me rephrase that, okay? If you're not controlling your chronic inflammation on a daily basis, how will you know? Well, how will it show up? What are some of the signs of what I'm talking about? Well, number one, memory impairment. I will tell you, when I started on this, one of the very first things I noticed is I started thinking clearer. I don't know if that's because it reduced the inflammation or whatever. We've got a bunch of other stuff in here too that helps out the brain, but I don't know. But it's interesting. The number one thing is memory impairment. The second one is cholesterol imbalances. I will tell you this, personal testimony. I have not only was I always borderline for blood pressure medicine, and I mentioned on a live a couple days ago or a couple lives ago that when I broke my leg and went into the clinic right there at the base of the mountain. So, I mean, this is all real fresh. I'm in a lot of pain. I mean, I'm ready to faint type of pain. And my blood pressure was 107/70. Now, my blood pressure is normally like around 130, 140, usually around 137, 142, something like that, over 90 to 100, which is really kind of borderline needing blood pressure medicine. My mom has always had high blood pressure, so it's a little bit of genetics. But I always refuse because I don't want to be on medications, right? Well, since I've been on the Swish, I haven't had my blood pressures magical. Well, I've also about, I don't know, not quite a year ago, had a complete blood work done on my body again from my naturopathic doctor. And when I had it done the previous time, my cholesterol, again, was one of these other issues that I was always forced by the doctor saying, you need to be on cholesterol medication. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And there's a lot of other science behind cholesterol. You know, the number they come up with is a number. They don't necessarily look at your body makeup. Maybe you need to have a little bit higher cholesterol level. But what's really the killer is not the cholesterol, it's this chronic inflammation. Anyhow, when I had this second blood testing done after I'd been on Swish for about a year and a half, my cholesterol levels were perfect. And my good cholesterol actually raised. So the 6 signs of having chronic inflammation: memory impairment. The second one is cholesterol imbalances. I got my inflammation under control through this, and my cholesterol is perfect. All right. Third one is high levels of CRP, or cardiac specific reactive proteins that show up in the body. All right. That requires a special test as well. Just general aches and pains are side effects from chronic inflammation. Skin issues. If you've seen any of the before and after pictures of what we've been able to help people with their skin issues, hair loss issues, hair rejuvenation, but especially the skin issues, has been unbelievable. I mean, within a week to 2 weeks. And that's because, well, I can't say why, but the benefit that people have noticed after starting the Swish is their skin issues go away. That's as best I can say it without making a medical claim, because I can't make a medical claim, right? And then the 6th one is digestive discomfort. You know, leaky gut syndrome is one of those. We've got testimonies for that as well, where it's helped people with their leaky gut or other types of digestive bowel movements. I know Dr. Will Horton, he's talked publicly about that himself and how it helped him tremendously. So chronic inflammation is a big deal, all right? According to WebMD, chronic inflammation causes cancer, or leads to cancer, right? Haven't we seen a high rise in cancer rates? Haven't we seen a high rise in Alzheimer's and other types of those autoimmune types of diseases? And I wish I would have had stats and all that on there. I don't on that, but I don't. But I'm sure you can research it and see that there's been a steadily climb. Well, they've also determined that chronic inflammation within the human body, and especially here in the States, has also been on the rise. And the primary reason for that is because of the foods we're eating. All right. So listen to this. According to WebMD, chronic inflammation leads to cancer, heart disease, diabetes, asthma, Alzheimer's, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, gout, osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, lower back pain, and neck pain. And I'm sure there's a host of others. All right. That's a lot of issues all going on just because of chronic inflammation. I will, after I record this live, I forgot to put this on Cili Guide. Oh, well. After I record this live, I will also post below a microscopy. It's a living blood analysis showing how the Swish, no kidding, within 5 minutes breaks up chronic inflammation with 1 dose. Now, can you imagine after you're on this for a period of time, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and all that cell repairing is going on, how much your body is benefiting? So this book, I went downstairs. I actually hobbled down on my crutches because I know this time I did get the book, and because this book is powerful. It was published in 2018. I first read it about a year and a half ago. And one of the very first things I want to talk about, actually, I'm going to come back to that one. First one I want to talk about is here. It's on page 186. And he says that, again, this is by Deepak Chopra and Rudolph Tanzi. It says that the link between inflammation and chronic disease is too strong to ignore. And paying attention has many benefits. Well, so again, these scientists, professionals in this area are telling you that this is a big deal. Here's the thing, when we're younger, we don't even know we're walking around with it. It's not until we get older that this starts rearing its ugly head. Hey, Lisa, yep, I know yours is. I mean, Lisa's got one of the best testimonies of all with her hand. If you want to see that testimony, I've got pictures of it. I can send it to you. Just let me know. Drop it in the comments. Lisa can send it to you as well. Donnie, hi, good to see you on here as well. So anyhow, so these guys, PhD and an MD, an endocrinologist, are saying that basically chronic inflammation is what leads to all sorts of diseases. Okay. And then a little bit later on in the book, they say this: 50% of cancer cases are preventable using already existing knowledge. And it's going to go on to talk about inflammation, that by reducing the chronic inflammation, you can reduce the occurrences by 50%, the cases of cancer. That's significant. Why are we not getting this blasted all over media, right? Well, there are probably a lot of reasons. And they don't know about this amazing product and all that it does, all right? It is absolutely amazing. So 50% of cancer cases are preventable, according to the book and The Healing Self, using already existing knowledge. And then he's going to get into this discussion about aspirins, okay? And the reason why, okay, let me just read it. The reason aspirin is effective in these cancers seems to be its anti-inflammatory effect. One indirect proof of how damaging inflammation was staring us in the face. When you think of what aspirin is good for, cold symptoms, pain, preventative of heart attacks, they're all linked to its anti-inflammatory action. And then it goes on to say, one new trend, however, is to link the early formation of cancer with chronic inflammation. There it is again. And then he's going on, and it goes on and on about it all right? He's going on about vitamin C and zinc and all this other stuff. So now let me flip back to this. So let me just explain what this is real quick before I go into that, all right? What this does, and I have a microscopy, and I'll put it again, I'll put it in the comments here. If you're not familiar with a microscopy, it's a living blood analysis. They basically go in to a technician, pricks your finger, puts a drop of blood on from your finger onto a slide, and they put that slide underneath a dark field microscope and project it onto a computer screen. Now, your blood naturally should be free-flowing, shouldn't be coagulated, shouldn't be clumped together, and it should be nice and round, right? Because, it's what's delivering all the nutrients, oxygen, and it's also what's detoxifying your body. So when it's clumped together, that's chronic inflammation, and it's not working as efficiently as it should be. Well, in this microscopy video that I'm going to post below in the comments, you'll see that in 5 minutes after taking this, it breaks up the inflammation, complete blood scattering. The technician that has happening to be doing that test has been doing it for 15 years. He had never seen anything like it. He bought the product on the spot. I've showed it to other doctors and physicians, and they all, usually their first response is, wow. All right. We know, we market this as a CBD product. We had, last February, a year ago, we were at the largest CBD convention ever in the history of the United States in Las Vegas. 15,000 plus, no, that's not right, 30,000, I think it was, foot traffic. There was over 300 vendors. Our booth rocked it. We did. We were constantly busy. We had, I think it was about a dozen people working that booth, and we never got a chance to sit down. We never even really got a chance to walk around the convention because we were that busy. And the reason was, one of the reasons was, because we were showing that microscopy video, and the people could not believe it. It is powerful because these people understand what CBD does, and CBD is also going to benefit the body in many different ways. But when they saw how we could break up inflammation, they were sold. All right. So besides just that, what's also in this is 90 vitamins, minerals, nootropics, electrolytes, primary adaptogens, some key ingredients, some very powerful herbs to include curcumin, which comes from turmeric. And I have this somewhere. The turmeric is amazing. Oh, turmeric plus resveratrol. I was just reading a little bit on curcumin and turmeric. Turmeric is the anti-inflammatory portion of curcumin. And I was just reading up on that a little bit, and it's been found and proven that turmeric works even better when combined with resveratrol, which we also have in this. But here's what really makes this a standout from everybody else. This is going directly to your cells in just 5 minutes. All your cells in your body is going directly there, to include the minerals and the vitamins. Regardless of how you're taking your minerals and vitamins right now, if you're taking a supplement, you're trying to eat right and everything else, understand it's very difficult for the body to digest, to break down those minerals, to break down turmeric and get the full absorption. With this, you're getting 99% absorption in just 5 minutes right to your cells. So that's going to bring me to this final page I want to read in here, because this is so powerful. All right, this one's going to be a little bit longer. The intestinal tract becomes less efficient as we get older. So you're now combine that with the chronic inflammation, right? So it's just aging reduces the efficiency of your intestinal tract. Now you add in that chronic inflammation, you're just adding fuel to the fire for illnesses and diseases as we age. Which means, among other things, that we don't assimilate vitamins and minerals the way we did when we were younger. So again, as we age, getting those vitamins and minerals to the cells is imperative. In some studies, the effect of dementia and memory loss have been reversed dramatically by restoring trace minerals like manganese and zinc to the diet. In this, we have 54 trace and macro minerals, all doctor formulated. So your body is getting the right amount. The cells are getting exactly the right amount of what they need. It's going directly to your cells. You got to keep that in mind. This is water encapsulated. It is not water soluble, not water infused. It's water encapsulated, created by 4 scientists with 9 PhDs. Very, very smart folks. Let me read on in The Healing Self. All right. Even doctors rarely think about mineral deficiencies. Well, we all know that they're not trained in nutrition. You know, the average doctor gets 6 months, maybe, a course, or maybe a couple courses in their entire schooling to become a doctor. They're very, very deficient in their education on natural health, all right? Because they're learning all about drugs and how these different drugs can handle the symptoms. We're more concerned about going to the root, right? We want to fix the endocannabinoid system. We want to help balance the body and bring it back into homeostasis. All right, let me go on. Even doctors rarely think about mineral deficiencies, but if you are older, it's good advice to take a multi-purpose vitamin. Here's the problem with multi-purpose vitamins. And if you are taking one, that's great. But you need to switch to this, because here's the challenge with those multi-purpose vitamins. Most of it's going down the toilet because you're only absorbing about 10 to 15% because the digestive system's got to break all that down. Here, the digestive system doesn't have to break it down. It's already broken down. It's less than 10 nanometers. Encapsulated in the water molecules, you swish it around for a minute, it gets right into your bloodstream, truly gets right into your bloodstream, 99% of it, and then it gets to all your cells directly within 5 minutes. Nobody else in the world, on the planet, is doing that with nutritionals. Where was I? It's a good idea. Okay. Even better is to keep eating well-established natural whole food diet. We already kind of covered that as well. At the same time, when age-related decline in kidney function is added to the picture, there can be a lack of water-soluble vitamins, vitamin C and B complex. Guess what? That's all in here. which get passed out in the urine. Supplements of these vitamins are helpful, particularly if your diet hasn't gotten rid of things that need undoing, right? Cleaning out the body. This book is phenomenal. When I first read it, I was like, holy cow, we are really, really onto something. So let me recap by asking you the couple questions. I went a little bit longer on this one, but I'm telling you, this is really, really important. And I hope you share this with people that you care about. All right. My website is www.ciliguy.com. But the person that shared this with you is going to share their website, and that's where you're going to want to go. But if you're one of my friends and you're seeing this, I'd appreciate if you come to my website and let's have a conversation on how we can start reducing that inflammation. So do you take your health seriously? Are you sure you do? Right? So how serious are you about your chronic inflammation? If that's leading to cancer, heart disease, diabetes, asthma, Alzheimer's, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, gout, osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, lower back pain, neck pain, leads to memory impairment, cholesterol imbalances, high CRP levels, aches and pains, skin issues, and digestive discomfort. If you haven't considered your chronic inflammation, you ought to. All right. I am educating you on this right now, how important it is for you to get started on this product. It will change your life in so many different ways. So are you truly serious about your health? And then how are you controlling right now your inflammation? And how will you know when you'll take your health seriously? And I hope that means that you will contact me or the person that shared this live with you. I wish you all a wonderful day. Absolutely amazing. I'll just throw this out real quick again too. You've seen me show this before. That's everything that's in here. It's a mitochondrial blend. It's a glycobiological blend. It's a mineral blend. It's got 50-50 CBD and CBG blend. And it's got all these key ingredients in here as well. It's just absolutely magical. All right. So let's get you started right. Let's start clearing up your health and helping you feel and live a heck of a lot longer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.